Okay, when it comes to the equipment, after you've emptied your skimmers, brushed your pool, and you've done your water chemistry test, and you've added all your chemicals, you're going to need to do some stuff at the equipment. So the first thing we're going to do is put the pool equipment into service mode. It's loud right now, I know, but how you do that is you come over to the touch panel. You're going to hit this little power button, and it's going to say service mode. I'm going to click on the service mode button. You're going to click yes. All right, so what that's going to do is shut off all your equipment automatically. So you can use the panel to turn it on one by one, but everything's going to be off right now, okay? So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to want to check all your pump lid baskets and your pump baskets to make sure there's no dirt and debris. So each one of these is going to have a handle. Basically, you're going to, turn it counterclockwise to open it, about a quarter turn, and then the handle comes off. This O-ring came off that needs to be in the lid, so you're going to make sure you're going to need to put that back in correctly. What that does is keeps air, when this pump is sucking, keeps air from going from the lid into the pump basket. So you always want to check if your pump isn't priming. You always want to check to make sure you have this O-ring in here and that your pump lid is on tightly, okay? So if you see all the dirt and debris in the basket, what we're going to do is just empty that out. So just take your hand, empty it out, use a water hose, all of that. So the first thing we're going to do, empty all our pump baskets, okay? So these handles here are offset a little bit to the bottom. So you're going to take these, it's going to snap on there, you're going to turn it a couple times, and then it's going to, the handle should line up, horizontally or, from the pump. I'm going to do all three of these real quick. This O-ring fell off too. Most of the time these O-rings don't fall off, but if they do, it's not a big deal. Just put them back right. You see this has some plaster in it, some smaller rocks, a little bit of leaves. So these aren't too bad, but what this basket does is keep finer debris from getting into the pump, the impeller. If this is too full, the pump's not going to get enough water and it's not going to circulate correctly. So these pump baskets, just like the skimmers, have to be emptied so you have enough water to properly run the pump. Okay, I'll put this O-ring back on. Also, if these keep coming off and they're not creating a good seal, there's something called magic lube that you can put on them. It's kind of like a silicone that helps give a tighter seal, but just starting out, you won't need that. So this other pump basket's empty, so I'm gonna not empty that. So once you got all your pump baskets empty, then you're gonna check for your chlorine. Chlorine needs to be off, and make sure you don't open the pumps with them running, because the lid can pop off, hit you in the face, and it could injure you if the pumps are running. So next thing you're going to do is check your chlorinator. Okay, what happens is you just unscrew this top lid here. You have another brown O-ring in here as well. That's very important, but you want to make sure you have chlorine tabs in here. If you don't, you want to stack them up. This holds about 8 tabs, but this is where you put your chlorine in here. Okay, so we filled our chlorinator up with chlorine tabs. If you have an in-floor system, which not all of our pools do, but a lot of them do. If you have an in-floor system, what you're going to have is a thing called the leaf vac. What the leaf vac does is it takes the bigger leaves and debris that come from the main drain, and it catches them here like a secondary skimmer. So on an in-floor system, same thing. You're going to turn it counterclockwise. It's just like your skimmer. You're going to pull this out, and you can see how much dirt and debris is in the bottom of the drain. This basically caught all this before it gets to the filter. So this is basically a first preventative for dirtying your filters, clogging your filters up. So what I'm going to do is just empty this out. That's all plaster and everything from the fresh plaster. So now that that's empty, we can put this back in the same way you put a skimmer. and twist it, and then we're going to lock it back in place here. So there. So like I said, reiterate, all your leaves, main debris from your main pump or your main drain of your pool and spa, if you have an in-floor system, that needs to be emptied out. If you don't have an in-floor, you won't have this, so you don't have to worry about it, okay?